Hello world, this is Jeffrey, JGB 146 Blake. I'm here to talk to you about the weekly roundup for the week of July 8th. So that means we'll talk about tournaments from July 8th through July 21st. Things coming up in the South Central United States. That means Oklahoma, Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, and Missouri. So, before we get started, two things. First, don't go yet. Please listen to the shoutouts. Second, the links are back in the doobly-doo for you to jump straight to your state. So once you hear me talk about the great things that happened, then you can go. But listen, because it's kind of important. It's important in that I think we need to recognize people who achieve things and who do great things for our community, for tournaments, and just who play well. So, we're going to start off, we're going to recognize someone who was not being recognized for playing well, although he may well be the best player we've ever seen. I don't know, I've never seen him play. But he definitely is doing a stellar job in holding tournaments and communicating with outsiders, because I was just a random guy from the internet, and I emailed him and I said, hey, I'd like to know about who wins your cup. I just want to give a quick shout out to it. Well, Marty Reyes, not quite sure, but I know that he's down in San Antonio. I know that he runs the league there, Grimdark Games, and I know that he went above and beyond in responding to me. First off, he sent this picture. He's the one that's over there not holding the mat, and then the guy that we'll talk about in a second is the one holding the mat. He's the one who won the tournament. So Marty's held this cup, and then he responded to my email, and he said, hey, yeah, I'll tell you. We had 39 masters. They top out at 40, so that means they were pretty much full. And they played standard with top cut to 8. He didn't have all 8 of the lists for top cut, but he said there was one in top 8 that was a Zappy Friends list with some fighting types. It got, knocked out during top 8. Top 4, he has all the lists. First, you can talk about the 2 that got knocked out. We had a Zappy Beasts, and we had the Zoroark, Dugong, Persian, Naganadal GX combination that's being commonly termed Zoro Checkmate. 2 of those, they got knocked out in top 4. And then in the finals, we had another Zoro Checkmate, and we had Jirachi Reshizard. So sort of the speed or speediest version of the list. And Zoro Checkmate won it. Piloted by, now you see the guy with the mat, that's Jackson Paulson. So he got 50 points, he got a pretty mat, and he got a booster box. The story doesn't end there, because this was Sunday. But on Saturday, at the PokeMotion League Cup, yeah, Jackson was there. You know what Jackson did? He won there too. He won back-to-back League Cups, starting out the season, the very first events that he probably went to. He got 100 points. I bet you there aren't very many people that have 100 points already. So, well done, Jackson. I look forward to seeing how you do at Worlds in 2020. Alright, from there, we'll go ahead and dig into the rest of the content. If you want to jump to your state, go ahead. If you just want to listen to every state, that's cool too. I am going to do a little bit of extra content on Oklahoma beyond the 2 tournaments that we have coming up. So what you see on the screen is the Night Arms League Challenge. We'll get there. First, just a quick shout out to the Stillwater and Tulsa area pre-releases that are coming up, because they're coming soon during this period we're looking at. Stillwater is holding their pre-release on the Thursday in the middle of the week. We'll cover it again. I'll talk about it next week. It might have been Wednesday. Pretty sure it was Thursday though. Not a lot of people probably traveling into Stillwater. Maybe a few folks from the Oklahoma City area. That's it. We're going to do a bigger section, and I encourage you to skip that if you're not from Oklahoma next week. But we're going to run through this. That's Night Arms. But we have pre-releases before that in the Tulsa area. Specifically, the very first pre-release is my pre-release. I'm doing a midnight pre-release. That means on Friday night. If you just want to come to DICE, doesn't matter when you get there. I don't think we're going to close the doors at all. I think it's just going to stay open. Technically, we've listed registration as starting at 11:30 p.m., but you can show up at 11:15. You can show up at 10:30. I don't know. We can hang out. We can play some games, that sort of thing. But when the clock strikes midnight, we're going to be handing out those kits, opening them up. Then we'll do our pre-release thing, right? What does that mean? Well, that means you pay $30, you get a kit that contains 22 cards that are pre-selected by Pokemon. So they represent some of the upcoming set, some of the things you get there. There's some trainers and whatnot thrown in from the new set. Trying to give you a little bit of consistency and just a baseline to build from. We also are going to have a bunch of energy. However much energy you want, we will have it. Do not bring it, because we've got energy and we want you to take what we bring, what we give you. Take it home with you. Obviously, you take the 22 cards that you paid for home with you. You'll also get 4 packs in that kit. So that's another 40 cards plus more energy, but you take those home. After everyone's opened their kit, there will be a period where you go through, you've got like half an hour to build your deck. Your deck consists of those cards from your pack, cards from the 22 set, and energy. You can use however many you want. You can have just one card from all of that and the rest energy if that's what you really want to do. It has been done. I don't think it's the most consistent way to play the game, but who knows? Maybe it'll work for you. Anyway, you come up, you put together your 40 card deck. I will have a video on this channel giving some examples of how you can build that kind of deck. And then from there, you go and you play in a 3-round tournament. That's 3 rounds. Because we have 40 cards, we only have 4 prize cards up. And after the 3 rounds, everyone who played all 3 rounds will get 3 extra packs. That means you paid $30, you got 7 packs for it of the brand new Unified Mind set. And you got this pre-release package with a promo in it. So it's a pretty good deal overall. But it gets better. Because if you go undefeated, if you go 3-0, you get another pack. It's not a pack that the store is giving you. It's not a pack that Pokemon's giving you. It's a pack that I'm giving you. Because I'm a nice guy, and because I want you to show up to my pre-release at midnight. Helps me out the more people we have. So I'm throwing some of that back to you guys. Pretty sure that's about it for that. But following day at Alien Games and Jinx, they're going to be doing another pre-release. DICE will be doing some sporadically as we have enough people that want to do more Saturday, and then probably again the following Saturday or something. I don't know what's going to happen there. It just depends on what you guys want to show up. But anyway, Alien Games and Jinx, Amy's going to do a pre-release. She's going to follow it immediately with the challenge that we'll talk about in a second. Her pre-release is kind of standard thing, same thing. $30, get your kit, build, play 3 rounds. I don't think there are extra packs, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. She could be doing more things that I don't know about. Then on Sunday, so now we covered so we're 19th bridging into the 20th, and then we cover the 20th, and now the 21st, Stephen Wallace, Wizards Asylum, will be doing his pre-release. I like the way Steven does his pre-releases. It's similar to what I'm trying to do at DICE, because I'm trying to pattern myself off of what I like. I figure if I like it, then you probably like it too. So what's it going to look like? Well, you show up, you buy your kit, build your deck, yada yada yada, right? Okay, then you will play your tournament, and top finishers will get extra packs on top of the 3 extra. So similar to DICE, get extra packs if you go undefeated. There might be a few people that, based on however Tom determines resistance, end up with more than 1 extra pack. So that's cool. But yeah, with that, we'll go ahead now. That's all the pre-release stuff I want to talk about. Pretty sure that the one at Alien's going to start at 1, and probably the same for Wizards, but Don't quote me. I'll make sure that I tell you for sure next week exactly when the Tulsa pre-releases are, and maybe cover all of Oklahoma too, because, you know, that's what I should be doing. All right, moving into the tournaments for this coming 2-week period. We have two. One of them's Night Arms League Challenge on July 18th. That also is a Thursday. I don't know why Jeremy's moving his stuff to Thursdays. Maybe it just works better in his schedule, and I don't know. This is going to discourage out-of-towners from coming to his stuff, but maybe that's okay. I will miss going to these league challenges if they continue to be on Thursdays, because I can't make it on a Thursday, pretty much ever. But this is at Night Arms in Stillwater. Registration starts at 6. That might actually be when the tournament starts. I'm not 100% sure, because I'm sure that registration doesn't run until 10. But it may be register from 6 to 7 or 6 to 6:30. Just to be sure, I'd try to be there at 6 if at all possible if you're wanting to play. Other than that, standard league challenge stuff. Get your points early. On the 20th, we talked about this a little bit. After the Alien pre-release, which generally goes about 2 hours, so pre-release starting at 1, then we'll go into a challenge, Laird Alien, immediately after on the 20th. And we will hit this again next week, but scheduled kind of loosely for 3 p.m. because it just depends on when the pre-release finishes. They're just going to go straight into the challenge, let you fill out deck list. I suspect that you'll be fine if you show up at 3. If you're waiting until 4 to show up, it might not work for you. So, anyway. That's Alien. If you're playing the pre-release, you probably should play in the challenge because, you know, it's the start of gathering points. That will move over to Arkansas. Same day, on July 20th. They have a pre-release. I think it's in the morning, and then it's followed by a League Cup. This is over in Rogers, Arkansas, so it's like 90 minutes from Tulsa, give or take. It's a pretty short drive if you're in Tulsa. Obviously, if you're not, then I can't tell you how long it is. Depends. But this is over in the Fayetteville area, just a bit north of Fayetteville. So however long it takes you to get to Fayetteville is, you know, add 20 minutes maybe, 15 minutes, and you're going to be in Rogers. Derek does a good job. I don't like the bathroom at his location. But Gaming Utopia, other than that, is a good store. Their seats were pretty decent. Fairly small, but it works for what they're doing. And like I say, I can't wait to go back. So check it out. League Cup. And what I would be doing if I went to this, like if I was going to go to a pre-release and then an event after, I would go here so I could play in the pre-release and then do a cup, because that's way cooler than a, you know, different order, different things. Obviously I want to get cups in. So yeah. Also in Arkansas, the next day, in fact, so on Sunday the 21st, Jesse is running a cup, probably following a pre-release, but don't quote me on that, out of Benton. This is over in the Little Rock area. It's not too far to drive if you're from the Tulsa area and you don't mind driving for a while. I think it took me like 4 hours the time that I went there, but yeah, probably worth going to, in my opinion, if you're up for driving a bit. Then we'll move on to Kansas, and we're going to talk about this one first. There's a reason that I just made that switch. We'll get to it. So Anthony Miller in Wichita, Kansas, which is sort of the center of the state, give or take, is holding a cup. Registration starts at 11, play starts around noon. Next Level Cafe is what you're looking for. If you remember, I've told a story about the tables being iffy and some issues there, but Anthony's on top of things. He's fixed it. It's all good. So if you want to start this weekend, this Sunday, that's where you go. That's another cup you can go to. It is within driving distance. It's like 2.5 to 3 hours from Tulsa. So yeah, check it out. And your other option on the same day, starting an hour earlier, is a cup hosted by Anthony in Lawrence, Kansas. Lawrence is up in the Kansas City area. For those of you who are concerned that Anthony is somehow able to be in Lawrence and in Wichita at the same time, given that there's like a 3-hour difference in like driving there, you don't need to be, because this is a different Anthony. This is Anthony Salmons. He's doing a cup on that Sunday as well. Venue here is Game Nut. I don't know anything about this store. I assume they have good tables and chairs, but I don't know. I assume Anthony does a good job. I don't really know. I do know that this is another opportunity to get some early cup points. And moreover, like I said, Lawrence in the Kansas City area, what are we going to do? We're going to go to Missouri, to Independence, Missouri, which is also in the Kansas City area. So you can go to Lawrence on Sunday. If you're in the Kansas City area, that works out well. If you're in the Kansas City area, it might also work out well to go to Independence on Saturday, because July 13th in Independence, Missouri, we're doing a cup there too. So you can hit back-to-back cups right in the Kansas City area. It works out really nicely. Sandy and Anthony working together to put on a great show. That's this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday. If you're in Kansas City, this is where you want to be, where you want to play. You could be like Jackson and come away with 100 points. Alrighty. Other parts of Missouri that we need to talk about. Yeti Gaming in Crestwood, which is pretty close to St. Louis. I want to call it St. Louis, but I'm probably not doing it justice to just say St. Louis. But Yeti Gaming, organized by Vincent Kreckler. Vince does a great job. I agree with Vince on so many things that are like gray areas for judging that I highly recommend you attend some of Vince's events. I have not been to anything below a regional that Vince has put on, and eventually I want that to change because I expect that he puts on a great cup. It's probably a pretty big cup too, so if you win it, you could get a lot of packs to take home. Anyway, definitely go. Like I said, this isn't another choice for that same weekend. This is July 20th, so this is Saturday, the week following. And I think that's the last thing we have to talk about in Missouri. Yep. Now we're on to Texas. Big Texas. Got a lot of stuff to talk about in Texas. And let's start. So, tonight, July 20th, that's today, that's Wednesday. Today, that means you need to go. If you're in Dallas and you want to play in a challenge, go to Sci-Fi. It's the Sci-Fi Factory in Keller, also known as Fort Worth. But yeah, Fort Worth, Dallas area, go to the Sci-Fi Factory in the Keller region. It's not on Keller Street or Avenue or whatever, but 6 p.m. This is a good challenge for you. Tomorrow, that would be Thursday. Registration starting at 5, but running all the way till 7. Nexus Esports is doing a challenge in Waco, Texas. So Waco is probably a little far for most people to go to if you're not in Waco and you're just going for a challenge. For cups, it's like an hour to hour and a half south of Dallas, if I understand right, and also a little bit more than that north of San Antonio. So it can draw in people from both areas, but I don't think that's going to happen for a challenge. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you want to go. If so, Rudolfo will get your back. He's got this event planned, and hopefully you enjoy and get 15 points. Then the 13th. This is the weekend. This is Saturday. They're in Irving, Texas, at Apex TCG. There's a League Cup, and registration starts at 10 a.m. Irving is, for those of you who don't know, that's basically the Dallas area again. So yeah, check it out. That's another League Cup coming up. DeMarcus is a great guy. I've worked with and around him and enjoyed it thoroughly, so I'm sure he puts on a great cup as well. Haven't had the pleasure to be yet, but I will soon. Also on the 13th, in Houston, way down south, Steve Lewis is putting on a League Cup at Heroes Collectibles. That's on Saturday. And start registration at noon. Game's looking to start at 1. And we're moving forward. The Game Closet is having their League Challenge. They're again in Waco. Again, Rudolfo. This is a different venue than the midweek League Challenge, but it's still in Waco. So again, my guess is that a lot of people are going to be going either up north or down south for League Cups. But if you don't want to travel, you got your League Challenge right here. Let's do it. Also on Saturday, Longview. That's like hour and a half out east of Dallas. They've got a League Challenge coming up. Once again, this is registration starting at 4, runs probably through 5 p.m. So if you print out your deck list, you might be able to go if you mysteriously don't make it into Top Cut in the Cup. Or you might be done with Pokemon at that point because you're fed up. I don't know. Either way, if you choose to, you probably could make it to Longview, provided traffic is decent. So yeah, I've never been. I know that Longview and Tyler do a lot of stuff together. Then we'll move into Sunday. There is another cup in Katy, Texas. Katy is outside of Houston, so it could be that you're going to want to go to a couple cups down in the southern Texas area, going to this one in Katy and the one that was, where was it? Heroes Collectibles. Also Houston. Yeah, you probably want to go to both of these then. In fact, it's the same TO, Steve Lewis. If he does one well, he'll do 2 even better, right? I think a lot of times most people who put on multiple League Cups from different venues tend to do a good job with them. So hopefully that's the case here. If not, let me know. Put comments down and I'll start bashing them until they fix their issues. No, we don't really do it like that. Alright, again, same Sunday, July 14th, this coming Sunday in Fort Worth. We've got another cup. So we have back-to-back cups in Dallas, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and in the Houston area. Either way you go, you got it going on. This one, again, registration at noon, running to 1 p.m. Then the games will start. I don't know anything about Manuel or Evolution games, but hey, let's do it. Check it out. Then Tyler, Texas. This is why I brought it. See, if I had looped them in together, it would have made more sense. But once again, we have a challenge starting. The challenge doesn't start late enough that if you miss Top Cut, you could go though. So this time it's a choice, and I think most of you would probably go to the Cup over this challenge in Tyler, Texas. But I will point out that those of you in Tyler or Longview, if you don't want to travel too much and you just want to do double challenges this weekend, you can. You probably already know that. But if you didn't already know, now you do. Then down in San Antonio, also on Sunday, there's another League Challenge. I expect that people in San Antonio will find it worthwhile to go to Houston for the double cups. But if not, Adam Conley, there at Heroes and Fantasies will be putting on a great challenge for you. I assume it's great. I don't know, but I assume, because with a name like Adam, how can you go wrong? I think this is the last thing for Sunday, but I'm not sure. Fat Cats and Kittens Challenge. It's a league challenge going on in San Angelo, Texas. So those of you in San Angelo, obviously, or like Brownwood, that sort of nether region in central Texas. And I just said nether region and you're like gonna hate on me now, but that area that isn't really close to any of the super big cities. Yeah, go to Fat Cats and Kittens, knock out their challenge, unless you want to travel. Okay, then on the 15th, Monday at 6:30 p.m., registration starts for a league challenge in Dragon's Lair Medical Center. This is down in San Antonio, and I don't know what is going on with dragons, but apparently they need Joey's help because he's got to heal them up. Perhaps your dragon type decks will see a boost here. That may mean that you should play Blacephalon deck featuring the single prize Turtonator. I don't know. I'm just saying, maybe it gets a boost, maybe something happens, maybe it gets double his HP. I don't know what happens in Dragon's Lair, but if you go and see Joey, he'll fill you in. Alrighty. Then on Tuesday, that was Monday with Joey. Tuesday, all the way up in Bedford, that's Dallas Fort Worth area. Wayne has you for a league challenge. Nothing going on in the Dallas area on Monday. That's okay, because we can go to the Generation X Comics and Games Challenge on Tuesday. Registration at 6, game starting at 7. Carrying right forward, the 16th. Wait, that's still Tuesday, right? Let's double check. Yeah, still Tuesday. There is a challenge in Houston as well. So if you played in Dragon's Lair in Houston earlier, you can play at Asgard Games with Harry Craig on Tuesday. Registration from 6 to 6:45. They don't want to wait until 7 to start their round. I don't blame them. Why not get it done a little bit early? Check it out. Hopefully it goes well. Let me know. Then on the 18th, so we're jumping to Thursday in Houston, West Houston. You got challenges like almost every day of the week this week, guys. Joseph Arellano doing this one at Heroes Collectibles, and hopefully it's a great showing. This time we're running registration start 45 minutes. We get 75 minutes from 5:45 up until 7 p.m. It's probably going to want to start pretty promptly with that, so make sure you get there a little bit earlier than 7 so you can do all your registration stuffs. Let me know how it goes. Finally, moving into next weekend, on the 20th in Brownwood, there is a league challenge. Like I say, Brownwood is in that central Texas area that's not quite close to any big cities. Not going to say the words I said before because I don't want to get in trouble for saying them twice. We have a challenge, and it has a 6-hour window for registration. This is on a Saturday. I don't know if it's supposed to run from noon until 6. That would be a really long challenge. My guess is that it could be that they're at CDC Games in Brownwood, or it could be that they're doing pre-release stuff and then playing the challenge afterwards. So it could be with 6 hours, they might even get 2 pre-releases in, maybe even 3. I don't really know, but if you want to go, contact Logan Pulowski at this phone number here, or you can email him. You gotta log in to do that. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Then on the 21st, so the only thing scheduled for competitive play is that challenge on the 20th. The only thing on Saturday that's competitive is a challenge in Brownwood. Other than that, Nothing competitive going on in Texas on Saturday the 20th. It's going to be like 14,000 pre-releases, and I know that's going to have you busy. But maybe throw your love to Brownwood for throwing something other than a pre-release. Or just support your local shop. That's good too. On the 21st, though, Sci-Fi Factory is throwing a cup. They said, okay, we've done our pre-release. We've got that out of the way. Now we're going to step it up and go competitive again. So this is in the Dallas area. This time Sci-Fi Factory has listed their city as being Keller, Texas, but same street address. So one of these days I gotta get down there and talk to Alex. Maybe when I email him about these cups, I'll ask him the question so I can stop saying I don't know what's going on and start saying here's what's going on when I give you these videos. One way or another, registration starting at 11. Alex was running a cup on Sunday the 21st and should be good. He definitely has a lot of experience with them. Also on the 21st, there's a League Cup. For those of you in southern Texas, go down to Cypress, right around Houston area, and you can play in the League Cup there on the 21st. Registration starting at 11:45, running until 12:30, not 1. Make sure you get there in time. It's a $20 admission for this one. I know I haven't talked about that. They are giving away a pack with part of that, so it balances out a little bit. If you have any questions, you can contact Brady Wong at the Cytex Gaming. Here's his phone number, yada yada yada, email, login. Finally, last thing we're talking about is a league challenge on Sunday the 21st. This also is in the Houston area. If you lose out of the cup, you might be able to get here in time since they are starting at 12:30 instead of 1. That may give you enough time if you have a deck list ready to go. You can make your way over to Strike Zone and play in their league challenge. You can run the same list or a different list, doesn't matter. But their registration is starting at 3:45, so you'd have about 3 hours. That's often about how long Swiss rounds take if you don't stretch them out too much. So you might be able to go over. Play in the Deer Park Pokemon League Challenge at Strike Zone. And yeah, could be good time. Could be you're just done for the day. And with that, we have covered it all, folks. That's all there is to talk about. Go ahead if you would, if you made it this far, if you like watching these videos, or if you just like watching videos on YouTube, click that little subscribe button for me. It does a lot of good for me. It helps me out a bunch. If you like this video in particular, then give me that thumbs up. If you don't like it, you can give me a thumbs down, I guess. But what I'd really like you to do if you don't like it is to leave a comment and tell me, what do I need to improve on? How can I make this better for you guys? I've been working, had some of the Tulsa area folks say they want to hear about how far things are. That's why I threw that in there. Trying to get more familiar with where the various cities in Texas and Missouri are. Try to give you guys good service too. Yeah. So anything else I can do, let me know. And yeah, comments are good. Yeah, I keep saying yeah. I don't know why. This is Jeffrey, JGB146 Blake, signing off.